Hello and welcome to the WYK channel. I'm your host Lewis, and we got a lot of things to talk about today. We got some sneaker news. We're going to go over some hot releases coming out in the month of February. Also, did you guys tune into the Sneakers Live? There's a lot of heat that shock dropped today. And I got a review for you. I got the Jordan 1 Low Space Jams, and I also have the Jordan 1 Low True Blues. Let's get it. All right, so let's get into some sneaker news. Now, I'm sure by now you've heard that Nike is suing Bape. And what's interesting is Bape has been around for darn near 20 years, I believe it is. And they did have their issues in the past, and Bape decided to, change up some of the silhouettes. But now, if you've been paying attention, Bape has really grown as a company, and Nike sees that as a problem, especially when a lot of their sneakers are pretty similar to, let's say, the Air Force One, for example. Now I'm going to post some of the silhouettes here that Nike is using as part of their argument towards their, suing of Bape, but you can automatically see the similarities in the sneakers. And it's interesting that they've been allowed to operate for so long prior to Nike now suing them. But, Nike's probably been watching for a long time, and they decided, hey, we can really get some decent money out of these guys and really start to shut stuff down because, as they grow and Nike just allows it to happen, it's going to cause other guys to, try to use Nike silhouettes, and even some of the past people that they've sued, like Warren Lotus and what was that? The Jordan silhouette with the Nike ball. I'll put it down here because I forget what those were called, but I believe it was the Cool Kais, right? I mean, and Omni and the Hellcat, he had a sneaker too that Nike went and sued the both of them, I think, collectively. But yeah, I mean, I side with Nike on this. Obviously, they're trying to bite off of them. You know what I mean? You got to be able to come up with some of your own kind of concepts. Moving on, I want to get into the fact that on January 26th, it's been 3 years since, unfortunately, Kobe Bryant and his daughter, Gigi, died in a helicopter crash out in California. Now, man, I can remember where I was when that happened, and I gotta say, I was in complete shock. Complete shock to go ahead and see that on the news, but it's unfortunate, but it just goes to show how precious life is, and Kobe's legacy can still be felt to this day. Obviously we have a new Kobe shoe dropping this year during the holiday season, the Reverse Grinches, but I think we really need to look at it more than just, the sneaker legacy he left behind. That Mamba mentality is definitely something that, is talked about with a lot of people as far as their mindset and how it is they move forward and look to attack the day. So definitely, take some time to know that, your loved ones could be here today and in an unfortunate event gone tomorrow. So make sure you appreciate family. You hug them, you tell them you love them. Not even just family, friends too. Tell them you love them as well, because life is short. Life is real short, and then, years later, you're looking back and it's like, man, where did the time go? That person's been gone. All right, so bear with me. I got a lot of kicks to cover for the month of February that are releasing. So many that I had to write them on my board just so I can remember them all and give them to you. All right, now let's start off. This coming weekend, we have the AJ1 AJKO Unions. Now there's a white and a sale pair. Both are retailing at $150. They are dropping on the Union app on February 2nd, but they will drop on the Sneakers app, so you'll have a second shot at them. on February 4th. Now, I believe they are going to come out on a couple other websites, but definitely make sure you Google that and you'll be able to find that information. Coming up, we also have the Jordan 2 Lucky Greens. They are dropping on February 3rd. They are retailing for $175. Next up is the Jordan 5 Aquas. That's the pair that is based off the Chris Paul 13 PEs. They are, well, more so they have the same color blocking as the PEs. I'm not 100% sure if they're based off of them, but they are retailing at $200 and they're dropping on February 4th. After that, we have, now, bear with me because there are also a slew of women's exclusive shoes that are dropping in the month of February as well. This is the first one coming up, is the Jordan 4 Seafoam. It's a women's exclusive. It does not come in extended sizing, but the retail price point is $200, and those are dropping on February 9th. After that, we also have the Jordan 1 Zoom Valentine's Day. Now, this is also a women's exclusive. This shoe is retailing for $150, and this drops on February 9th as well. After that, we have the Jordan 4 Crab. Now, this is a sneaker I'm definitely looking forward to. Retail price point on this shoe is $210, and those are to drop on February 11th. After that, we also have the Jordan 1 Low Desert Black. Now, this is another women's exclusive. Are you following the theme here? Like I said, there's a lot of women's shoes dropping in the month of February coming from Jordan brand. I believe these are retailing for $110. Now, it's interesting. The date I have is that they're dropping on February 14th, Valentine's Day. You would think a Valentine's shoe would drop on Valentine's Day. Maybe they changed that up last minute, but the information I'm getting from the J23 app says that the Desert Blacks drop on Valentine's Day, February 14th. After that, we also have dropping on February 14th as well is the Jordan 1 Zoom University Blue. Now, this is a men's pair. I believe the retail price point on this sneaker is $150. The materials on this sneaker are really nice. I like the suede all over it. I'm not going after this shoe because I do have the Jordan 1 University High Blues already. So this is a pass for me, but it's definitely a nice sneaker. Well, who knows? I may end up changing my mind. But, you know, it can happen. After that, we also have the Jordan 1 OG 85 Black White. Now, these are retailing for $200. They are dropping the day after Valentine's Day, February 15th. Now, this shoe here is definitely going to be kind of limited. If you remember anything about the OG 85 Georgetowns that dropped last year, they were a little bit of a tough cop. I took a big fat L on those sneakers, but hopefully I get a W this year because I can't lose 2 years in a row, can I? Well, hey, anything can happen. After that, we have playoff weekend coming up. Now, be on the lookout because, you know, with this being 2023, they call it the year of Jordan. Also, I believe this year Jordan's turning 60, if I'm not mistaken. I'll definitely check my sources on it. But, you know, there could be some possible shock drops of other shoes that happened that have come out before in the past. But what's coming out that weekend that we know for a fact are the Jordan 1 Laneys. Now, this is another women's exclusive, but these come in extended sizing. Oh, yeah. So this is a sneaker I'm definitely looking forward to. The moment I saw them, I was like, oh, yeah, I definitely like those with the blue and the gold yellow on them. Now, the Laneys, you know, they are owed to when Michael Jordan played for Laney High School. Those were the colors. They say the red and black Nike tag on them is supposed to be a nod to him being a Chicago Bull. I'm not sure, but, you know, I've heard that rumor floating around, so it is what it is. Who knows? After that, we also have the Jordan 13 Playoffs. Now, this is an OG sneaker that Jordan wore for the one of his playoff runs, one of his championship runs, might I say. This shoe is retailing at $210. It is to drop on the 18th. So you have the Jordan 1 Laneys coming out on the 17th, and then you have the Jordan 13 Playoffs coming out on the 18th. Now, the month of February is definitely going to shape up to be a very expensive month because not only are all these sneakers dropping, but you also got Valentine's Day. So for those of you who have significant others, we all know you can't miss out on Valentine's Day. You definitely got to put some effort into that. But you got a great significant other like I have, maybe they'll help you out with getting some of these sneakers. Who knows? Make sure you stay good to them. All right, guys. Coming up next, we're going to get into the review of the 2 cops I had from last weekend. One for me and one for my fiance. Let's get it. All right, so now we're going to get into the review of the 2 sneakers I was able to cop. One for me and one for my girl. Now, the first one we're going to get into is, and the tag reads, Air Jordan 1 Low. Now, this is a grade school size, so true blue, cement, gray, white. All right. And we have the Air Jordan 1 Low True Blue. So, don't need the box. All right, and we have Air Jordan 1 True Blue. Now, I did a review on the Air Jordan 1 True Blue highs, which I was able to cop last week. And these are the lows. Now, we all know grade school pairs are similar or actually identical to the men's pairs. They just come in grade school sizing. Now, this shoe here definitely lends itself well to the True Blue highs as far as the color blocking is concerned and the design. Now, the swoosh on the lows actually matches the tongue, but on the highs, the swoosh is actually the True Blue. Also on the highs, the tongue is white, while this one is gray. Obviously, with this being a grade school low, the tongue has the blue Jumpman. Now, these aren't the OG lows. These are the more updated lows. So obviously, they're not going to have the Nike, the traditional Nike tag on the tongue. And not only that, this tongue is definitely designed much different than your traditional OG Jordan 1 Low tongue. We have a white toe box, True Blue mud guard, the gray cement bottom. Overall, it's it's definitely a nice shoe. It caught my girl's eye. She definitely liked these. Wings logo on the back is in white stitching. Interior of the shoe, the sock liner is, the cement, and you got the True Blue color inside as well. And as we know, these sneakers, they aren't coming with shoe trees any longer. They're always coming now with, this stuffed tissue paper. Now, I remember it used to be that you used to be able to legit check off of the shoe trees, but now they're not doing shoe trees anymore, so, could be something to it moving forward, but this isn't even a shoe that's hard to cop, so I don't know why you would even bother with, it is what it is. So, as I stated before, overall, very clean shoe. I would definitely wear these in a men's version if I wasn't able to get the highs, but since I have the highs, I don't need these, and that's it. So, if you want these retail at $90. I believe the men's pair is probably $110 or $120. I'm not sure, but yeah, it's a It's a nice shoe. So moving on from that. All right, now we're also Jordan box. Now this is the men's pair. It says Air Jordan 1 Low SE, white, black. Now, I was really shocked at the fact that these were, moving a little bit in the aftermarket, from when I was able to cop these, which was just this past weekend, and I would have got the review out then, but I still have a full-time job and a lot going on, so the videos can't come as fast as I'd like them, but who knows, one day this channel may grow to the point where this could be something I just fully concentrate on. But as I was stating before, I was in the store, I was talking with my guy, and shout out to my boy with Finish Line. He definitely was able to hook me up with these. And he told me these were flying off the shelf to the point where they actually had to hide them in the back because resellers were coming and just scooping these things up. So without further ado, these are the Air Jordan 1 Low Concords, or Space Jam 1 Lows as their nicknames. Now, all right, I'm going to take out just the left shoe here, and we'll get into the right shoe in a minute. Not that there's anything different, but I'm just starting off with the left shoe. All right, so here we have the Air, way far into the camera. We have the Air Jordan 1 Low Space Jam Concords. All right, now right here, these right here are definitely a way better pair in here than I thought they were going to be. Now, they obviously carry the black-white color blocking as the, do I even need to say it? For those who don't know, the pandas, the Panda Dunks. But, this is definitely a much more, I would say, sophisticated upgrade over just a normal Panda Dunk. I mean, you have all the black is in nice, shiny patent leather. Got a thick white tongue. The Jumpman is in black, as the patent leather is. And man, I have to say, and they also used black stitching all around. We have a blue translucent sole, and this definitely is. I would say this thing is a head turner. This thing is definitely a head turner. Now, I probably will not be rocking these until it's summertime. I mean, listen, down here in Florida, it's practically summer all year round, but this is the time of year where you're able to wear sweatpants and hoodies. You get those days down here. Obviously now I'm talking about an area where on average the temperature is like between 75, 85, but you'll get your occasional 50 to 60 degree days to where great time to bust out a hoodie, bust out some sweats, but usually this time of year I stay away from the lows, and mainly I'm rocking the highs or the mids. But come springtime, like March, April, well in the summer, then, I'm busting out some lows. But yeah, this has the white Wings logo stitched in the back. Now, as I stated before, these are not the OG lows. This is more the updated low. But, definitely this is a very nice put together shoe, and I'm very happy to get these, very happy to be able to cop. These were, and I have to double check the price, I believe I paid $120 for these. And let me go ahead and bring out the right shoe. Now, I haven't had these on feet yet, which is why they're not laced, but this is the right shoe. Okay, and yeah, man, I mean, you can see it. Now, if you're able to find these and cop them, I suggest you do, especially in the bigger sizes, because the resellers are out and they're really trying to get at these a lot, man. So maybe a little tough to get. They're definitely going about $50 to $60 over retail right now on like StockX, Go, eBay. And you know, I can kind of see why. You know, this is a very nice shoe. You know? So what do you think? You think this is something that you may try to find and go after? You know, it's up to you guys, but hey. So other than that, that's all I got for today. Thank you for sticking around. I know this was definitely a long video to watch. There's a lot of stuff to talk about. You know, as some of these sneakers get closer to their release date, we'll definitely go a little more in depth with the shoes, especially if I'm able to cop them. But you know, we'll see, man, because guess what? I'm not plugged in like that. I gotta go after these shoes the same way you do. I gotta be on the hunt. I gotta put in that footwork. I gotta be ready for those links to go out. Speaking of links, where are you on the sneakers at, watching the sneakers live heating up? Because they shock dropped a ton of heat for the UK and US. I believe in the US they shock dropped the Travis Scott Air Max 1s. They shock dropped the Lobster Dunks, the orange Lobster Dunks. They shock dropped the Jackie Robinson Dunks. Mind you, I took L's on everything. They also shock dropped the Undefeated Dunks. That was here in the US. And then in the UK, they shock dropped the Jordan 1 High Black and Whites, the OG 85s. They shock dropped the eBay Dunks. And they also shock dropped the Kentucky Dunks too. I believe they're called the Kentucky Dunks. I will put the name here, the correct name, if in fact it's not the Kentucky Dunks. But yeah, man, a lot of heat dropped today, and it's important that, you know, you stay in the know when these things drop, because it's hard to pull them off the shelves in the stores if they even ever make it to the store. You know, very rare to the heat like that make it to the store. So I suggest you do a couple things. One, you can, you know, download one of the sneaker apps that, you know, will keep you up to date. Get on Twitter, you know, follow things such as like the Soul Retriever. I'm not sponsored by them or anything like that, but I do use the Soul Retriever to try and cop sneakers. And, you know, make sure that you get on Twitter as well, because that's where darn near 95% of the information I get when it comes to sneakers, you know, that's where it comes from. So in any case, guys, thank you for rocking with me today. I appreciate your time. And please remember, stay true, stay in the moment, and remember, wear your kicks.